I think I might just be ready to go to bed after that game. I mean, the Premier League is known for real intensity. You know, these games that are so tense and really spectacles. Tonight was absolutely unbelievable. It was breathtaking at some points in that match, and I'm so glad that millions and millions and millions of people, as neutrals, were able to actually enjoy the game. But of course, if you are an Arsenal fan or a Chelsea fan, yeah, it was just one of those games. It really was absolutely terrifyingly exciting. That's the best way I can explain it. You're probably expecting me to be angry and a little bit disappointed. Well, not just a little bit. Very disappointed with the result and the fact that we've had another few poor decisions in the game. But in reality, I would say both teams probably deserve to get something out of the game. So I'm not too angry. It's Chelsea, and you've got to remember, although they're not winning the league this year, they did win it last year. So they are still, they haven't made too many changes to the squad. They're still absolutely fantastic. So it's good that you can still, get a point against them when maybe you could have got even more. So I'm really proud of the team. We didn't get help today with a few decisions, but we did get lucky in some other ways. Let me explain some of them. Morata, one of the most expensive strikers in history, had one of those games that all strikers have where you just could not score. He could not score today. There was just so many opportunities for him just to finish, just put it in the back of the net and win the game comfortably for Chelsea. So that is one reason we got very lucky. The other reason I think we got lucky as well is the referee, although he made a couple of decisions that went against us, we also had a couple throughout the game. Maybe Jack Wilshere could have been sent off. It did look a bit, I don't want to say it was a dive, but he went down very easily after a little bit of contact. But then you could say the penalty that Chelsea got when Hazard was just touched a little bit by Bellerin's boot, he went down quite easy. So I think there's elements of bad and good decisions for both teams today. But it does feel like because of the last match with Arsenal, losing out on a win because of a poor decision, it just feels like it's happened again. We've had another poor decision. We could have had a penalty very easily in the first half with Maitland-Niles, I think it was. Probably was a penalty, although did he move his leg towards the challenge? It's so difficult to tell, and I feel a little bit for the referees because when it's happening in front of them, it's very quick. And sometimes they're not going to make the right call. It just happens to be against us all the time. That's how it feels anyway. But in general, I thought, Arsenal did well today. I wanted to do kind of like a player review style video instead today because I'm sure everyone's watched the game and I don't need to talk too much about the goals. I mean, let's quickly talk about Bellerin's effort, which, he's come under a lot of criticism. I've given him a lot of criticism recently. I still firmly believe in what I've said, and that is he is not a defender. And although I think he's better going forward, his crosses are lacking. They're pretty shocking at times. But one thing he's great at, and that is running into space and being in the right place at the right time. And I think that's what makes him somewhat okay as a defender. He's always got his pace to get him out of issues, and he seems to be in good areas, to defend. But today he proved that he's got something, that's for sure. He can hit the ball, and he scored an absolute beauty. It was a really nice goal and a great moment. I cheered massively. My throat is still hurting, actually. And when we went 1-0 up, Jack Wilshere, bow down to Jack Wilshere. I really, really hope he stays injury-free. Maybe this is the next step in his career now. Getting injury-free for once. Let's see him play for a whole season. Let's see him get 30 Premier League games in a season. Maybe obviously it's not going to be this season, but maybe next season. If he can just stay fit, you can see the quality he's got. What a finish. No chance it's getting saved. And Chelsea's goals, they were decent as well. Poor defending in some areas, but I guess you could say Chelsea didn't defend very well against our goals. But let's give some ratings out of 10 for each player. In goal, the ex-Chelsea legend, and now the guy that can't save a penalty to save his life that plays for Arsenal. I thought, though, he had a good game today. You can see he was very commanding, especially when Chelsea had free kicks, telling players where to be. You could just tell that Petr Cech is so respected in this team, and he made a good few saves today. So I think a safe 7 out of 10. He is still a fantastic keeper, but I would love us to invest in a younger player that can learn from Petr Cech, and maybe next season the new goalkeeper that we signed could play almost like Ospina's role, be the backup for 1 year, play in the cup games, and just learn from the master that is Petr Cech, arguably the best goalkeeper in Premier League history. So 7 out of 10 I think is fair. Let's go wing backs, because Maitland-Niles and Bellerin, they always get pushed out to midfielders when I do these reviews. I thought Bellerin was average today until he got his goal. I think that's going to automatically bump his rating up a little bit. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 as well. I still think he needs to work on his crossing and his defending, but he's got every bit of a chance to become an absolute Arsenal legend. You know, he's been here for a long time, and I'd love to see him stay. I really would. And on left wing back, we had Maitland-Niles, who continues to impress. It's a bit of an opposition for him, I'm sure. He's not a left wing back, but he's doing so well there. Without Kolasinac, we're okay, you know. We can put Maitland-Niles there, but I would love to see him play central, maybe even left wing at some point. He's a real athlete. I really like him, and I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 as well today. Now, centre-backs, we had Chambers, Holding, and Mustafi. I'm going to give them all 6 out of 10. I don't think they particularly played bad, but I don't think they particularly played well. I think Chambers is looking really good at the moment, very promising. I think Holding, it showed that he hasn't played much this season. Mustafi had an average game. So I think 6 out of 10 for all three is about right. And now moving into centre midfield, we had Xhaka and Wilshere. Thought Xhaka had a very good game. Again, he's been a bit under the radar recently, having a lot of good games. Every time he gets the ball, you just hear the crowd go, shoot, because we know how much power he's got in that left foot. And I think I can think of one player, maybe two players that have maybe more power in their left foot, and that was Podolski and maybe Robin van Persie. But Xhaka, man, he can... I mean, I would not want to be in the way of one of those shots. I definitely would not. But Xhaka was good again. I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Nothing special, but had a good game. But Jack Wilshere, for me, probably second to... I don't want to say who I think's man of the match yet, but I think Jack would come in second for me, and I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. He was unbelievable today. Defensively, going forward, his passing, his goal, just commanding midfield. He may be short, but he's massive in personality. He's a great, great player. Please keep him fit, Arsene, and please play him. I was watching the game and actually talking to my fiancée Ellen, and I said, you know, Ramsey getting injured is a bit of a blessing, because although Ramsey's been good for us, it allowed Jack Wilshere to get in this first team for a bit. So I think we can clearly see that Wilshere has the ability to play for Arsenal in the first team, despite all of the injuries he's had. Right, then we had Mesut playing as right forward, right wing, whatever you want to call it. He drifts around. He plays loads of positions. He was man of the match for me. There wasn't a single player on that pitch better than Mesut today. Again, he's been man of the match a lot recently. He's quality. And I'm hearing reports that he's close to signing a new deal, which is an early Christmas present for this year, even though we've just had Christmas for last year. I really hope he stays. I would take Mesut Ozil over Alexis Sanchez at this point. I really would. I think Sanchez is more replaceable than Mesut Ozil. You might disagree with me, but maybe you do agree with me. There isn't another Mesut Ozil. And I guess you could say Alexis is pretty unique as well, but there are other players like Alexis. There is no other Mesut Ozil. When he plays badly, it's horrific. We know that he can be very lethargic, but I think he looks lethargic and he can be brilliant. Today he was fantastic. His work rate. I think he's playing like he wants to play. He's playing like he wants to stay at Arsenal, and I really hope that's the case. On the left side, we had Alexis. Had a good, solid game again. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. He didn't lose the ball as much as usual, which was good to see. And had a couple of chances. Pulled out a few saves for Courtois. But in general, looked dangerous. And I like it when he drops deep and cuts in and passes it. Just don't pass to Ozil every time. Please use the rest of the team. It makes sense sometimes just to pass it out on the left for Maitland-Niles, who's overlapping, instead of just cutting inside and giving it to Ozil for a 1-2. And then up front, Lacazette. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now, I think it's 7 games now in the Premier League without a goal for for Lacazette, Alex Lacazette. He's struggling to find the back of the net, even though he's had a few chances to do so. Even today, probably should have had a goal. But the link-up play, him, Alexis and Mesut are the triangle of dreams. They're playing so well together as a 3. But once again, Mr. Wenger decides to take him off. And it's just unbelievable. He was going to score. I felt it. And they take him off. And I think Lacazette is so unlucky. He really is. I feel like, you know, if he was given a true 90 minutes every week, he would be our top scorer. Absolutely no chance for anyone else to keep up with him. He would score so many goals. He just gets taken off at the end of the game when defenders are tired. It's not fair on him. It really isn't. So it's frustrating to see that. And I would give him a 7 out of 10 as well. And I think, you know, Welbeck came on. He did okay, but the quality isn't there. Multiple times he got in a good area to have a shot or cross. No end product. Walcott came on. Didn't really do anything, if you ask me. Who was the other sub? I can't even remember. In general, guys, I enjoyed the game, even though I'm an Arsenal fan, and I think a draw is probably fair, but we could have won today. Had we got just that little bit more luck, maybe we would have got a penalty. Maybe Chelsea wouldn't have got their penalty. You know, it was soft. But it's 2-2, and it's not the end of the world. We can now move on into somewhat easier games. Chelsea is always a really tough one. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy these reviews, please do leave a like rating. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you next time.